Okay. Hey guys, welcome to the Clip It podcast, episode 35. Jeez, we are getting there. I hope you're all doing very well. It's good to be back, and yes, there's some updates. I've slightly modified some of the graphics again, but that's just more for editing purposes and the fact I should be able to render this in one go, quote unquote. It probably won't. But yeah, it's good to be back. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and New Year's, and didn't get too drunk, too high, too sleepy. I don't know.
It's important. It's really important that you don't drink at an elevation of above 1800 feet. Okay, it's important. Do not drink too high. It is highly dangerous. Listen to your doctor and follow their advice.
Right. And, okay, that just pushes us right into this. I am joined by Agent Oink.
Hello.
And Delicious.
What's up?
How are you both doing today?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Yeah, not too bad.
Decent.
Being cold.
Very positive answers,
it's-
as you can hear.
It is bloody cold. It is too cold. It hasn't stopped raining today either. Like, not one bit has it stopped raining.
We, on the way to where we went today, we drove through puddles that were probably at least knee deep, and it was a choice to drive through them, but we went for it.
Wow.
Sure.
I got
Yeah.
told off for driving through a puddle too fast on my lesson. So,
Someone did that too. So we were actually. That also happened just after the knee deep puddle. You go up a hill, and then there's a corner with another puddle on it. Someone came flying around that corner and just sprayed us with water, so we couldn't see anything. So we had to just stop. That was Pog.
that sounds pretty pog. Jesus Christ. Actually,
Probably-
has anybody here been splashed by a dickhead driving through a puddle?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah, well,
but like,
for the bus, that always happened.
were you like splashed severely, or was it just a little like tinkle?
A
tinkle?
mixture. Yes.
I mean,
like,
all of the
tingled on
above has
and
Was it like
occurred,
someone
yeah.
peeing on you, or was it like you got splashed by a bucket?
Was it? So you're asking? Was it? It wasn't like a person. So there have been
Look-
instances where it's like a person pissing on me, but most of the time it's some BMW driver who makes it like a nightclub full of people have pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like a bucket is. I've had like a bucket. I've had like someone's pissing on me, and I've had like someone's got like a fucking digger scoop and thrown water on me as well.
Yeah, you know, one of those aircraft they used to put out forest fires.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly,
yeah.
right? There's all areas of the spectrum. It's happened. It's not great. I mean, frankly, the worst I've had, I was wearing like rain gear anyway, like a good raincoat and stuff, because obviously it was really chucking it down. That's about where I used to live. But yeah, it hadn't happened in a while. But that's because I stopped going out because I realised as I grew older that going out is awful. They're not worth it.
That's fair.
Why did you say we're getting there at the start of the podcast after saying the episode number? What are we getting there
Okay,
to?
yeah, I never actually said context. We're getting to a year anniversary. I'm not counting how physical,
okay.
how old the actual podcast channel is. I'm doing it by episodes
God.
because, well, this has been inconsistent as shit. So,
Well, I mean, yeah, then there's the other episodes, which I guess we're not counting.
what? Oh, the cock podcast.
God, I missed the cock podcast.
God, you guys know what the Cog podcast is. You're into some deep clip it lore. Good one.
But I mean, I might as well address this now. I have updated all of the graphics on the podcast because I can't spell. I'm still dyslexic as shit, and just didn't notice. I don't know how it's been going on. I literally it was like that for a good 3 months, and I just didn't notice that. I misspelled clip it.
Here's the real thing, though.
Mm.
It'd been 4 months, but you're dyslexic. Me and Delicious, we just didn't notice. We just didn't read.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things. It's just I don't know how I didn't notice it when I first did it.
I don't know.
It just amazed me. So I fixed all of that, and yeah, that's good. I actually quite like how the not the banner, the fucking logo came out. But yeah, that was good. Anyway, it has been an interesting year.
Yep.
This is definitely not recorded the day
No,
before
this is-
the early access podcast or after
No,
New
it's
Year's.
been recorded in the late 2021, like you said
Yeah,
you
yeah.
wanted to do.
I mean, yeah. So The nice thing is with being able to do these offline now is that we can kind of record on a lot more schedule. Basically, when everyone's around, we don't have to worry too much about if we're streaming it. And
The biggest problem at the moment is Valheim.
No, Valheim's got nothing to do with
Not
it.
a problem.
What do you mean Valheim? I'm not playing Valheim. I think me and Reese are planning in the future to do some sort of Valheim modded server, but that's not happened yet.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I had a like a vision about that.
Yeah, so the nice thing is that we recorded the previous episode a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's come out really well. As you can see, Charles has redone not just the graphics, but numerous other things as well. It's got a slightly different camera angle, I think, if my memory serves me correct. He's updated the dye on his hair because he was terrified of that. You know, he had a very serious discomfort with that. So he's done a lot in the past couple of days, Charles. He's been very busy.
Yeah.
He's become the best recon in Tarkov as well. It's weird. Tarkov managed to wipe, and Charles became level 15 in 2 days. I mean, he's really grinding.
Yeah.
You joke about that, but there are people who are already like level 50 in the game.
I know. Sleepy was level
pisses
20 I
me
think, in
off.
like 3 days.
He's like level 40 now. I'm like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. I wish I didn't have to have a life so I
What
can
a
get to that
nerd.
sort of level.
What a complete nerd.
I know, what an absolute nerd, Sleepy.
Right.
Well, yeah, last time I called out Tom Scott. Fuck
Oh,
you,
for
Sleepy.
God's
It's your turn
sake.
to be good.
Well,
No.
we're going to have a segment every podcast now where you just call someone out.
Yeah, I'm for that. Let's do
Do
it.
you know what? One great podcast. Okay, do you know what? Fuck it. New segment, podcast recommendations. My recommendations for podcasts. Fully Charged Show podcast with old Bobby.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize you had a
good shit.
podcast.
Yeah, they do a podcast. Good shit if you're interested in the electric vehicle space, the green energy space, decarbonisation, that sort of stuff. Great podcast. The Adventure Zone, if you like D&D and other TTRPGs. Wayne Radio TV's podcast, Where Do We Begin? Him and his friends, and the whole Radio TV Solutions crew, and it's just stupid stuff. Those are my main podcast recommendations that I can think of off the top of my head. But on the Where Do We Begin podcast, Wayne's podcast, they have a segment called Balp's Grievances. And basically, every podcast, Balp will air his grievances, something that's pissed him off. I think Phelan should do that, except it's an individual that's pissed him off. Every single
Okay,
podcast,
yeah.
Phelan should name someone that we're smiting and shitting on that podcast.
Oh man, am I allowed
Do
to
you want
repeat?
some
We might
time
get a
to
few
think about it?
Reeses.
I feel like you should be allowed to repeat if you have enough like good enough reason to.
It's just gonna be Reese every week. Like, oh great, Reese crashed the ship in Valheim. Reese blew up the house.
What do you mean? We
in
haven't done Valheim.
So, when you were saying repeating, I thought you were going to have a go
Yeah,
at Tom
this is
Scott
good.
again.
I mean, no,
Don't.
he's still not replied to the email, so
Um,
I'll
Oh,
give him
God,
another
I-
week or so. Oh, another 2 days.
Wait, have
before
you
we record
emailed
the
him?
next one. Yes, of course.
you said, can you just join my podcast, please? What's Reese done now? Apart from...
What has Reese done now?
So far, in my knowledge, Reese has nearly crashed into about 2 islands so far this journey in Valheim that we're doing in the future.
Wow, Jesus, I'm
Yeah.
amazed you could tell that.
I really hope we don't try and capture some people in Valheim and take them back to our island. That might end up weird.
Right.
Yeah, that would be pretty uncomfortable.
I reckon Reese would make it very hard.
Oh my god. Oh, what have I missed out on? This is...
You
It's the thing is,
Tell you later.
you've... Oh god, okay, so you've been all doing some sort of weird fantasy in the future, while me and Cass have been getting jobs in 5M servers.
Yeah, like
So,
you
for
have not been on-
context, me and my
you won't be
girlfriend...
on.
Me and my girlfriend, for those who don't know, I would be white if you knew. Me and my girlfriend, we played a bit of GTA 5 RP. She loves GTA, and I recommended doing
I
some
knew.
RP.
Of course.
I thought it would be something she liked. So we went into.
No,
a couple
I'd
of
always
servers.
put you two as a couple that would enjoy RP.
Yeah, well, it's just a bit of fun. And we've been on this
I'm
one
right.
server for about a week now. It's been good fun. She's made some really good friends. She's actually good friends with most of the admins.
Got stuck next to a fuel pump.
And I've just been doing my own thing. She's now become an NHS worker in the game, EMS, so she goes around reviving little kids. I wish that was a joke, but last night was fucking mental. I don't even know what happened. And I, as of last night, become a mechanic, which is pretty pog, because that's like one of the sought after
I
jobs.
would not trust you to be a mechanic.
Oh, I wanted to be a mechanic, not for the pay, but that just you get to customize cars, and it's something I like doing in GTA and in games in general. So
Right.
I just thought, I'll take it. I was good friends with one of the mechanics, one of the mechanic bosses, no, one of the shop bosses. Sorry. How this server works, I don't know if all servers work like this, but how this server works is you pay, I think it's £50 minimum donation, and you get your own custom workshop. £75,
Right.
you get a few extras, I think, like a gang and all that. And this guy I'm good friends with now, Mar, he ended up getting the garage for free because he used to work for a
Garage?
gang. Shut up. He used to work for a gang that owned a garage, and he was the mechanic. I will piss on you.
Oh, no.
And he ended up getting it for free, which is pretty popular. I'm good friends with him now, and I'm a now mechanic, certified mechanic. Get $800 every half an hour, and 25k
Okay.
per car I modify. So I'll take it. It's just
So, okay.
great fun. Great fun.
What counts as modifying a car? Any change?
So how it works is, so
Do
basically,
you get paid per modification and charge someone like $10 extra?
so
for
I
fuzzy
get to
duck?
choose as a mechanic how much I charge them. There are set fees though. For example, to upgrade their car to what's it? It's like an upgrade kit. That's 20k.
Right.
And then
I see.
I can kind of negotiate the rest of it. So like if they're going from if their car defaults to like a glossy black and they want to just go to matte black, I can by default a respray is 5k. I can negotiate that down because it's a very minor change to, I don't know, 2.5, like
Yeah,
to a reasonable
when you
price.
respray a car, it doesn't generally matter.
I know,
What
but
the
like we could do
starting
that.
and end color are. You're going to be changing the color.
know,
You're going to
but-
need to do a full respray either way.
We can do that, and it's about getting as many regulars to that garage, because
Right,
that's how you tend to make business, is getting the same
'Cause
people
they're
coming to
preying
the
on your
same garage.
stupidity.
Yes. But we're not allowed to like give out free shit and all that to just random people and all like it,
but
I had
only
a
random.
solid hour conversation with the owner yesterday, just talking about his plans and what he wants to do and everything, which he's a lovely guy, plumber in real life. Had a great conversation in general. It's just, and honestly, this server's got some wonderful people on it. My favorite thing though is if you want to make money, you just go fishing. That's how everybody makes money in that game, is fishing. And Cass had an interesting 2 hours at lunchtime going on. She got home from work, went on for 2 hours. I think she caught 100 fish, which is the max you can get. Proceeded to lose all that 100 fish to someone robbing her, and then someone sunk her boat. So, yeah, that
Sounds
happened.
like that one.
Yeah. And there's
That's all right, Reese. Taking notes.
and there's a surprising amount of modders that get on that server. So that's a little unfortunate, but it happens. Yeah, it's just been good fun over the last couple of weeks. I've just been busy with Tarkov and GTA. That's what I've been doing. What about you two? Lovely.
Wow, he really has no response. I guess I'll go then. I've not been up to much. I'll break the illusion. We're recording this a week after the previous podcast, actually. So we have started the Valheim server now.
2 weeks.
No, a week.
Okay.
And we've started the Valheim server now. It's in its infancy. We've not decided on the mod pack yet, but it exists. And theoretically, we're thinking we want to like have a mod where we can have like ships and stuff. So I've just been thinking about ship designs and building ships, and I feel like once we get the server started, I'm definitely going to be the one that's going to focus entirely on building ships, and it'll be me spending all the hours building the ships, and I'll be using all the wood and collecting all the wood and putting all the work into
Being
figuring
the
out how they
main
work.
person.
And, yeah,
Being the
that'll be me specifically is what I'm thinking.
And the other two would just be useless if they'd rather be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you, Fern? What have you been up to?
Yeah. Honestly, outside of Valheim, not much. I don't think. I mean, I'm just.
You done
finished
your
that War
event?
Thunder event.
More
Yeah.
fun to start. Thank you very much.
Yes, that was
Are you
The
happy that
time-
you got all 10 of them?
Yeah, honestly, it wasn't a difficult event. Like, I definitely don't think I could have done all three. but I don't care
Okay.
about navals, so that's
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, I wouldn't say it was a particularly difficult event as War Thunder events go.
As a casual War Thunder player occasionally, I would say getting 2 main end vehicles is pretty pog. Just like I feel
mean, yeah,
like
one of them's literally 11.0, so that is
Yeah.
the top tier in the game right now.
like you say they're not difficult, but they are time consuming.
Yeah,
Each star, and
but I mean, yeah, you play War Thunder for a good amount of time. I reckon you're naturally going to get a few of those stars.
yeah, I think you have to actively put a lot of your time to get all 10 of them. Which you yourself did, but I don't have the patience for that, honestly. How long would you say on average you did a day to get a star?
I honestly don't know. Probably
2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, well, not too bad then.
No, absolutely. I'm just having a look. So I'm in total 1,743 hours.
I'm sure you can figure it out from that number.
From watching, sometimes were pretty bad nights where you're having bad runs, or War Thunder's being incredibly pedantic about what counts as an assist.
Yeah, the assist system is absolutely just broken now.
You can pepper someone with rounds in a plane, right?
Yeah.
I mean, inside their plane, you've got half a wing, about 2/3 of a body, no engine,
set them on
nothing
fire.
left, and the human that was sat in the pilot seat is consistent pretty much of the right shoulder cap and half a brain. And somehow you've done that. Someone dinks them in the other bit of the brain, and it poofs, and that's just a kill for them, no assist. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
it's crazy. Other than
Yeah,
that,
it really is.
some days, it was quick as well. Like sometimes Venom would go on and just be like, "Oh, well, that's done."
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, it was good getting like 15 kills in a game with the ASU.
I fucking love
Honestly,
that thing.
that ASU, I wish I had it because it's pretty pog.
You do have it.
Do
I
I?
don't know what you're saying that. Yeah, because we played it before together.
I don't remember.
I specifically remember we went ASU together.
I genuinely don't remember. Is it Russian?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find out after the podcast now if I have it or not.
Damn.
That was one of the reasons I didn't really do because I just didn't have any good vehicles for the event, effective vehicles for the event.
Yeah, you did. I'm trying
like
to think
what?
what your BRs are now. Well, no, you definitely have a good France BR.
Yeah, but it's expensive, and I probably would have ran out of money
the
within
main
2
problem
rounds.
is, I'm now at, I think, I can't remember if it's over 6 or 7 million Silver Lions, and you're at basically 0.
Look, I've got 600k rubles on Tarkov. I'm doing all right.
Well, there you go, just move them over to War Thunder, and
Yeah.
you'll be alright.
What's the ruble to Silver Lions conversion?
Oh, you're
1
probably
million
too-
rubles to 1 silver lion.
Yeah, that sounds about right, to be honest. Million rubles is about $1. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, you know what? We had a couple topics we were going to talk about, but I just wanted to really, something I wanted to talk about was just how this year's been, and if we had any plans for next year, and if not, or if that just goes by quickly, if there's anything we would like to see next year, anything happening, be it gaming, something we're looking forward to, or anything like that. I think that'd be a cool conversation, and there's a couple of things I wanna try and do. I've got a couple aims, a couple New Year's resolutions. I don't know who doesn't like that word, but someone does. And yeah, but last year was interesting for sure. It was most definitely. It feels like it was just a dull year, like a year that just didn't exist.
2020 was a pretty dull year.
Yeah. Do you mean 2021?
No, you said we were talking about how we felt this year so far going into next year.
Damn
And it's
it.
2021 now, so it's 2020 as last year. I mean, like the Overwatch League, right? The Overwatch League 2020 was pretty sucky. The COVID hit and it sucked. 2021 was the same situation, the same pandemic, but they improved on it significantly. Things like that are really the difference in 2020 and 2021. Both
That's
suck
true.
overall, but 2020 was a pretty damn shit year. I'm with you.
Yeah. And to be honest, so was 2021. It was. It just felt like a dull year.
We've got a couple of weeks left, yeah, but yeah.
Well, yeah, I doubt the world's going to change in these next couple of weeks. I've heard the fireworks in London are just going to be shoddy, so we'll see.
Yeah,
But,
I've heard that they're planning to use drones again.
I don't know, and probably some random artist I've never heard of. And I've heard that someone's going to scream out from someone's microphone in the distance, "Happy New Year," but who knows? I don't know. No, it was certainly an interesting year. Not really much happened gaming-wise, to be completely honest. Not that I can think of.
Yeah, there's the Steam Awards, which I have some predictions for.
What are those predictions?
Well, I mean, there's a few categories. So, Game of the Year.
I think Game of the Year is going to be... You know, my favourite game of this year was probably... Like, you're probably going to disagree with me this, but I think it was Resident Evil Village. It was probably the greatest game ever created.
I mean,
And
if you put that in a category with, I don't know, say Valheim, New World, Cyberpunk, and Forza Horizon 5.
yeah, you know, and talking about Forza 5, my God, is that game unique in so many ways. It's
the visual style.
It's so different and just outstanding.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought when I was playing Forza that it was interesting the sort of visual aesthetic they went for. You know, there are lots of different games go for different styles. Some go for a sort of very realistic-looking sort of general, just realism vibe, right? Others go for like a much more cartoony. Some go for a cel-shaded. But when Forza decided to go for multiplayer connection problems as their visual aesthetic, I really, you know, I commend it.
And my God, it's got some of the best story writing in any game of 2021. Outstanding.
I mean, what could
Microsoft did a
Capcom
great
come
job.
up with? Ethan Winters just, you know, likes destroying his wrists on repeat or some shit.
Oh,
Like,
no,
come
no,
on.
no, you're getting it wrong. Because if you
edgy.
didn't know, in Village, he reloads slightly differently because he is now military trained. Oh, I don't know, something like that.
Nice. That was a very good. That was a game theory right there.
That was a film theory. Yeah, no, that was.
Oldman release. That's.
I'm genuinely trying to think of good games or good gaming events that happened this year. Like E3 just went over. I don't have a clue what happened. I swear Gamescom was better than E3 this year. Because I just don't remember E3 in any way, shape, or
Nothing
form.
really happened this year in gaming. I'll be honest. There's not been many
I
super
remember.
important games. You know.
This tells you how well it did. Battlefield came out. Completely forgot about that.
I mean, it did.
Yeah, it came
There's
out.
much more to say than that.
Yeah, that happened. The new Call of Duty came out as well.
Yeah, I think I heard even less about that one
Yeah.
somehow now that I.
Yeah,
It's
do you know
like-
what? Do you know what, actually? As much as we genuinely do make fun of Battlefield, we have to point out how Call of Duty came out and literally less.
Nobody spoke.
People don't even mention the game. At least Battlefield
Yeah.
gets mentioned when people are like, remember that came out and it was shit? Like, Call of Duty is just not even in the fucking equation.
I think it's because Battlefield came out at the same time, and because that was
Battlefield
it was
came
always
out
so
in-
hyped,
I don't remember.
and then didn't do very well. Everybody was like just concentrated on it, and nobody looked at Call of Duty because it was the same copy pasted game from the last 10 years. And you know, credit to them, they had a better story than Battlefield, because Battlefield doesn't have one per
I'm
se.
saying not much of an achievement, but
But like even the new Warzone map recently came out, and I don't think that's been spoken about at all. Like, I've seen a few streamers play it, but I have not seen one bit of gameplay, 1 ounce of gameplay on that new Warzone map, because I don't care.
damn.
It was just there. Oh wow, what games came out? Were there any other AAA games that came out this year?
Cyberpunk.
No.
That was last
Was
year.
that... Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was 2020,
Oh,
wasn't it?
Yeah,
God, I
no,
don't
it
even
was.
know.
I've just checked 10th of December, so it was right before the fucking cutoff.
Yeah.
I remember it being early winter for some reason.
I mean, it basically was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christ, what came out this? Did anything other than Battlefield and Call of Duty come out this year?
Literally nothing of particular interest came out, no.
Well, not like, did
Forza
any
Horizon?
fucking indie games come out? Oh yeah, Forza Horizon. We don't talk about that.
Some indie games came out.
Yeah, Little
Deathloop?
Nightmares 2, Subnautica Below Zero, Psychonauts 2.
Definitely came
Below
out this year,
Zero,
isn't
do
it?
you know what? Below Zero was quite a while ago, so I kind of forgot. But Below Zero was alright.
Yeah.
It was alright.
Okay,
That's what I'd
I've
give it.
seen gameplay. I've now finally seen the story of 1. And, like, seen a playthrough of that.
Yeah, I would say that Subnautica 1 is a... This is a bit of a weird way of measuring stuff. If Subnautica 1 was a 10 out of 10, Subnautica Below Zero is maybe a 7 out of 10.
Okay, okay.
It's fine. It's a good game. It's enjoyable. It does some things that are worse. It does some things that are arguably a bit better. It's just kind of fine. If you enjoyed Subnautica, you'll enjoy it.
It's
still
been a good
Subnautica.
year for Xiaomi, though. They released some nice new SKUs of phone, among other things.
Did they release anything else that they haven't made yet?
Sure.
Like, I don't know. Did they release a car?
No,
Okay.
not yet. You are fucking jumping ahead. This is the 2023 podcast, at least.
Also, like,
Actually, no, that was this year, Charles. You're correct. Xiaomi Mi Car was concept renders were released.
oh yeah, and
on
the dog
September.
wasn't that this year?
Concept renders don't count, even by fucking my standards with Xiaomi.
Was the dog this year?
Yes,
Maybe.
yeah, no, you're right, you're right.
The Xiaomi dog, the thing
Yeah.
we all love and wish so much upon.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a spot, but cheaper and not
So
as
much
functional.
depends on a red Xiaomi dog.
I was just looking into something that kind of got like was announced in a couple weeks' time because I can predict the future. More information was released on the PS VR2 that I don't know if any of you seen.
I heard that might be happening.
Oh, it is
in
happening.
No, I mean, I heard that they might be releasing more details. In a few days.
Yeah, so it's rumored to be more or less like fully announced with like actual, I assume, product. I hope not renders, but like the actual product itself. But I saw a post on Twitter the other day of the comparisons
Okay.
between
So,
the PSVR, PSVR 2, it was the Oculus and the Vive. I thought it was interesting they compared the Vive. Sorry, no, I do apologise. I found it interesting they compared, it was the PSVR 2, PSVR, Oculus Quest 2, and the Valve Index. I thought that was an interesting comparison between the all of them, but I don't know if either of you seen the actual comparison image as of late.
no, I've not seen what that may look like when they release it in a few days.
Okay. Well, it's going to have an OLED display with 2000 by 2040 pixels per eye.
Double the original PSVR. Epic.
Yep. It's up to 120 hertz.
Okay.
Inside out tracking. With
Inside eye tracking. Yeah.
inside out tracking with 4 built-in cameras, which I think that should be better than the old PSVR. The problem with the PSVR is the light tracking in bright rooms was it wasn't as precise as it should have been, or could have been.
Okay, fair. I don't have experience with its trackings.
It's corded, obviously. It's got this is
skipped a few.
approximately. It's got 110 degrees of field of view. Additional hardware. Apparently, you need a PS5, and it's got its own sense controllers, which we've seen renders of already.
I like that you skipped over the fact that it does actually have eye tracking, or it's meant to.
Oh yeah, I did
I
read
mentioned
that.
that.
Yeah, I thought I said that. I do apologise. Eye tracking.
You said inside eye tracking, and then
Yeah, I
you
mixed them.
misread inside out tracking, and then completely skipped it and never came back to it.
It will be interesting to see how it actually performs. I think the biggest thing with it is just going to be its price point. I genuinely think that's going to be the biggest thing with
I'm trying to think.
PSVR.
There have been a couple of PlayStation VR games that I've seen, and the ones that I have seen that I thought they looked cool were exclusives.
Yeah.
And then there was just crap though, like the Hitman in VR, which
Oh yeah.
was pretty poorly done.
Yeah,
to be honest.
in
I'm
my
glad they
opinion,
did it, but the effort they put in was minimal.
yeah, in my opinion, the problem with PlayStation doing VR is effectively twofold. Number one, it's a complicated area for them to try and do in terms of price and that sort of stuff. And I think the key limiting factor for VR is accessibility across the entire spectrum, whether it be PC, whether it be a mobile, whether it be a console, whatever. Like it's all about making it accessible in some sense. But the problem I have with PlayStation doing VR is cool. They develop a new VR headset. They spend, a lot of money on R&D and trying to get it work with their, considerably speaking, relatively speaking, low-powered console, right? Go to all of the effort of that, get tracking and all of that integration, and then get it working with the console games and all that stuff. And then what they do with that is they've said, hey guys, look at this cool new VR product that we've done. Also, by the way, every single cool VR game that you want in these big name franchises, you can't play that on PC now, or you can't play that on mobile now, because fuck you, it's now a PlayStation exclusive. Oh yeah, you wanted to play Resident Evil on VR? No, fuck you, you suck. You're not allowed that shit. You're gonna have to wait for a community mod to do it, and you should go check that out, by the way, because it's awesome. That pisses me off. I mean, PlayStation do this normally with games, right? Like, Xbox make exclusives, and I still think it's wrong when Xbox has a game that's exclusive to Xbox and not sold on PlayStation. The console, but at least when Xbox make an exclusive, it's also sold on PC. When PlayStation do that, until recently, that has not been the case, and that has been the worst fucking thing for their VR releases. Because, like Phelan says, there've been a good couple interesting PSVR games that I've looked at and gone, I'd love to play that, but I can't. And Sony seriously sitting here and telling me that my 1,000 VR headset is not going to be capable of doing it. Like, I'm not. What am I going to do? Spend another grand on a PlayStation 5 and a VR headset? No. Right, like I bought that thing after a long time because I wanted to play VR, and Sony just say fuck you, basically, and that pisses me off a lot. Like, it pisses me off Giga time.
No, I agree. I think the biggest problem with the biggest problems the PSVR 2 is going to have is, well, one, the issues with the console, just getting your hands on one, and two, what games are going to come out for it. We've seen a couple concepts, if I'm not wrong, or like ideas for the PSVR 2. I think they announced a couple of them at CES, but honestly, my opinion is, if they can price it around the same, I know it won't be, but if they could price it around the same as the Quest 2, maybe a bit cheaper, I think that would be a great just competitor to allow it to be more mainstream. Again, the limitation of the PlayStation makes that quite hard, but like, that was what the PSVR 1 did. Well, it was somewhat affordable. So was the PlayStation at the time. Everybody had one when it came out, and it was an all right experience to get anybody into VR, to give everybody a good, okay VR experience. Obviously, it's not Valve Index quality, but not everybody has a grand PC or a grand VR headset. So
that's the thing, though. I actually think I'd argue otherwise. Now, here's why. VR is awesome, and VR is expensive as shit.
Yeah.
But both of those things are true, and that sucks. And in terms of like, like the Index, would I recommend someone buys an Index? God, no. That thing is way too expensive to justify in like 90% of circumstances. If you're really into VR or really want to try VR at that price point, then fair enough, go for it. Same with like the Pimax headsets and any of the more expensive VR headsets, right? But the problem I have with PSVR, the original version, is that one of the things it did is it made VR accessible to a wider mainstream at its price point, and led to loads of people going, oh, VR, I've been seeing about this on the TV, and everyone's talking about it on social media, and all of the YouTubers I watch are doing it. This is awesome, I'm going to play it. And they went, oh, this tracking is nauseating, and this game is running at a really low frame rate. I'm never going to buy VR games again. I'm never going to buy a VR headset again. And that means that VR games are not getting developed as much, and that companies aren't investing into VR because VR gets less interest. And I straight up think that a lot of people that played the PSVR had an overall bad experience in terms of some games being nauseous because of the poor tracking, because of the lower frame rate of the PlayStation 4 running it. The people like didn't ever consider getting into some of the cheaper Oculuses that they could get, that even though those are cheaper headsets, still perform better than that did, especially in terms of tracking, not necessarily in terms of frame rate. And that sort of stuff sucks, because I think a lot of people that would really enjoy, say, an Oculus Quest 2 with Beat Saber play that sort of thing on, like, imagine playing Beat Saber with poor tracking, right? It's a game that requires good tracking. It's just objectively a huge part of it. Playing that on a headset that has poor tracking is just going to suck, and that was like the key problem with the PSVR 1. So I think a lot of people sort of got peeved by VR through that experience.
Alfie, what if you don't want to sign into Facebook?
Yeah, don't.
Just don't. So don't sign
Got
into
you there.
Facebook at all.
I mean,
sign
no,
into
just don't buy an
WhatsApp.
Oculus. That's a whole other issue, though.
Anyway, well, no, yeah, we've had this discussion before. We've had this argument before.
In terms of VR, the Pimax 12K being announced as well. That could be a
Oh
pretty
wow, yeah.
cool headset if you have a couple of £1,000.
Do you?
But Phelan, the human eye can only see at 720p 30.
Oh my
Oh.
god. Yeah, you're not wrong.
That would be awful.
Also, if you experience the screen door effect, go see an optician. There's something wrong with your eyes.
You're standing too close to the simulation.
I'm getting
Oh,
interference from the Matrix.
anything else happen in
Matrix came out, and I can't see it.
Oh,
I
and
want
the
to see
game.
it.
Oh, the demo thing.
I'm angry about that. I want to see the fucking Matrix. I
Have
just need
you-
to
has
pirate it.
Did you
Anybody
ever get a
seen
reply
few
to that
reviews for
email?
it?
I take it you didn't.
No.
Reviews
No.
have been very mixed.
Okay, I haven't seen a
What,
single
for
review for
Matrix?
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Summary. It's very woke, apparently, significantly pushes on the leftist agenda of, the entire concept of the Matrix, and everything it stands for. It's also quite meta and makes a lot of reference to the original movies in quite meta ways that you might not necessarily fully pick up on if you hadn't rewatched them just beforehand. And a lot of people are like, yo, it's been like 20 years, like, can we, my brain, I can't, process this stuff fully. And that stuff. But basically, everyone that I saw that was like going into it looking for a fun Matrix movie in the Matrix universe, who already is a leftist or trans or anything, was like, this is awesome. This is just a fucking great movie. I'm going to rewatch it a million times. And anyone that was like not that was just like, this is the worst woke movie ever. Like the Telegraph posted an article that was like very dismissive of it. So sounds like it's a really good movie to me. But
Oh,
I think quite a lot of people have been that I've had experience with been quite confused at it. There's been the main.
yeah, I think
Well,
the
yeah.
meta side of it has been really causing problems.
I know plenty of people that have watched the original Matrix and it confuses them. So I don't see
Yeah,
why
that's
the
exactly
new one's
what-
not going to confuse them.
Yo,
I mean, I
guys,
know
have you
people
seen
who said that
Inception?
they-
That's real hard to follow. That's crazy.
That they watch like the Matrix films 3 because apparently people don't count the Animatrix.
Is it?
I-
God,
But
carry on.
and they've said, "Oh yeah, I watched those like a few months ago. No clue what happened in this film. Could not tell you."
Fair.
So I'm in that way though. I'm excited to. I'm not going to. I still need to see Spider-Man.
Oh,
I don't
you
know if
should.
I will. Well, I want to see it with someone. I don't
Do you
want
want
to go to the cinema alone.
do you want to do a movie night?
Yeah.
Depends. Like when you say movie night, do you mean like we
Not
used to?
online one.
Not online.
So
sorry.
go to a
'Cause
cinema.
the reality is that we probably ain't doing the cinema, so
Well, we could for Spider-Man, just not for anything else.
Oh yeah, good point.
yeah.
I wouldn't mind watching Spider-Man again. I might go with my sister again. It's just a fun film. That's why I love Spider-Man.
I heard the
It's a great
Spider-Man
film.
was good.
It's a fun
And
film.
again, like I think that's one thing that we've talked about this before on the podcast as well, like movie criticism. Sometimes who gives a fuck whether the movie was good or bad, or did this right, or the direction was good, or the voice lines were done well and dubbed good in this scene, or the VFX. Who gives a fuck? If you go into a movie, enjoy the experience, and come out of it, I don't care. That's good. It's a good movie.
Oh, The Kingsman. That's another film.
Oh, is that out now?
Yeah, it's been out for a little bit.
I don't know. I just kept seeing it and I didn't look at dates, but I wanted to. That looked like a fun film. Both
22nd of December it released. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Both of the other Kingsmen are just great films. Great, just fun, energetic films. Good story writing. So this new one looks pretty good. Oh, what was the other film? There was another film, and I saw it advertised when I went to see Spider-Man. I was like, why are they advertising this now? And that was Top Gun. Any news on when that's coming out?
It's now meant to be a May or March
Oh,
release.
for
I forget
God's
which
sake.
one. Yeah, I mean, it keeps getting pushed back, and
I
don't know,
assumed, because I
I
thought
don't
originally it
think
got
at this
pushed.
point it's going to be a brilliantly big film.
I originally thought it was getting pushed back because of COVID, like James Bond.
22nd of May.
But I haven't actually looked
Yeah,
into
that's what they
why.
said.
Because it was
Oh,
meant
yeah,
to come
that's
out on my
what-
dad's
that's what they
birthday.
said.
It's entirely the Microsoft Flight Simulator expansion.
Is it actually? Imagine. Well, you can't release the game. It's going to spoil the fucking DLC. But it was meant to come out on my dad's birthday, and he's a huge Top Gun fan, so he really wanted to go and see it. And
Yeah.
then it just never came out, and
Oh.
when it just disappeared, it's like, where the fuck's it gone?
I don't think it ever really disappeared. There were always sort of dates being said. Whether they'll stick to this date, I don't know.
Oh, it looks like a fun film, again. Like the original Top Gun, I never would say is an amazing film. It's a cult classic and it's all right, but I wouldn't say the story is a fantastic. Like, it's not. It's a slow film, a slower film. And so I think the Mavericks is probably going to get the same sort of reception, but it just looks like a fun experience. And to be honest, from what I'm aware of from interviews and all that, it looks like Tom Cruise did a lot of the flying for real. So I'm excited to see how that actually. It's going to be. It looks like a fun film. So I'll probably go and see that with my father when
I think he did a video on that, didn't he? He was with Jay Foreman.
Yeah. Yeah. No, wasn't that Tom Scott? Wasn't that the man we all love and hate? Yeah. No, it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man's a good one. I was meant to do a podcast on that, but that never happened.
Podcast on Spider-Man.
Yeah, I was gonna talk. Me and my girlfriend were gonna do a podcast just talking about it, what we thought we liked about it, everything story based and all that, and I you know I recommend it. If you're a Marvel fan, it's a good Marvel film. If you're just looking for a fun film to go and see, that highly recommend it. I can't remember if any other films have come out. If you're looking for more violence, The Kingsman, that's definitely up there for that. So yeah, there's some good films coming out. Films have done better this year than games. I think that's definitely one thing.
I wouldn't say either have done particularly well.
TV did well this year as well, as of recently. The Witcher came out.
Not my area of expertise for sure.
Oh, The Witcher 2, Witcher season 2 is pretty pog. I've seen a couple episodes of that. Marvel had all of their TV shows, which did fucking amazing in my opinion. Well, at least as a Marvel fan, I enjoyed most of them, apart from the last two. Or at least, Hawkeye. The Hawkeye series was just dull. It was a good memento to Black Widow, but as a TV series, it just didn't really intrigue me. What If was great. Loki was amazing. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was alright. WandaVision was outstanding. And whatever the fucking other ones was, I can't remember. So yeah, if you're a Marvel fan, that was good. I watched Ted Lasso this year, season 1 of Ted Lasso. I actually really enjoy that show. Highly recommend. If you have an app, like the only reason I didn't want to watch that show is because it's on Apple, but I ended up getting like 3 months free, so I decided to watch it.
I see.
Yeah, otherwise I would have never seen it. But it's a funny show. It's a good written show. I like it. Any other TV I'm trying to think of, I can't think. Fuck. Literally shit all happened this year. I grew 100 followers on Twitch. That was pretty pog.
True.
I actually started making TikToks and content and shorts. That was pog. I dyed my hair 2 different colours this year. That's pog.
Oh yeah.
My parents got married. That was pog. I had 5 children.
Damn.
That's pog.
Well, again, yeah, sounds like you had a good life this year. All right, rub it in.
What the fuck happened this year? Jesus Christ, I can't remember. I don't think any, like, as I said, this year just feels like it was just a placeholder. Like nothing happened, sort of ordeal.
Yep, this was a placeholder year.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah.
I mean, just. If the vibes of the planet were sort of vibing at like an 80 to 90 capacity, we've since the end of 2019, 2020, and 2021, we've just been sat solidly at like a 50.
Yeah.
Everyone's just kind of, like movies and TV shows that are releasing there, they're alright. Games that are releasing, some good ones here and there, but mostly just alright. Nothing particularly fancy. Nothing major's really happened. We're kind of just sat here, But I wouldn't say that anything has been like, there is not a single like genre of media or like science hasn't had any like significant breakthroughs. Like nothing particularly interesting has happened. Like, you could say, oh, but the James Webb Space Telescope
Literally
launched,
what I was going to say.
right? But I mean, that thing could have launched 17 years ago. You know, like
I wish
they
it
just been
did.
bloody scared of the cloth tearing. You know, like come on. So like,
I mean, the SpaceX Starship progress was pretty epic.
Yeah,
it
somewhat.
was alright. Like,
It was
But-
alright, it was fucking awesome.
I mean, yeah, but
Big rocket go,
yeah,
and then it come back down, and also go.
there's not really like
then
it's just
blow
like
up.
and occasionally-
well, yeah, that's
That
But
was quite funny.
I don't know. There's plenty of
Good
interesting
luck.
things that more interesting rocketry things that can happen than like just prototype rocketing. I mean, it's cool, but there's more interesting rockety things.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
I don't think that was this year though.
Oh,
not
there was
this
no-
year,
no,
no.
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
but they
like
could
in
have been,
general.
yeah.
So like that's why I'd rate it as like
Oh,
yeah, it was
we went
alright.
to the fucking moon at one point, but yeah, no, let's compare that achievement from like 50 years ago to what's going on now. So that
Yeah,
seems like
exactly.
How have
That
we
does
not
seem
got
like a
back?
fucking fair comparison.
It doesn't. Shut up.
How's that not a fair
No,
comparison?
no, you're both
Because it
wrong.
happened.
You're
We
both
had the time
wrong.
to talk about it.
Talking about the moon, we discovered
The
a
moon.
square rock.
We discovered the set on the moon when NASA faked the moon landing. It's true. A Chinese rover uncovered it.
Did that? Is that
Oh, it
like?
was
I
a
did not
Chinese
follow
one,
up on that article. Does anybody know if they like actually?
I
Because I heard they
don't
were going
know.
to investigate it for the next 2 weeks after they discovered that first image, and then they said they were
There's
going
still
to.
zero follow-up.
Yeah, I don't know if they actually
I-
followed up on it or.
I'm presuming what happened is there was a monolith in a photo sent back from one of the rovers, the Chinese rover, I believe, on the moon. It drove towards the monolith to investigate it, which obviously isn't as simple as a straight line path. It's a slow, careful process to get over that way. And then when it got there, the monolith wasn't there, and the Chinese Space Agency just went, "We're not saying anything on this. It just didn't happen. No news article. We won't ever talk about it again. We'll just pretend we forgot. It's fine." And like left in the the moon dust was just like a big scrape, like eldritch gods were here,
Honestly, like
behind that.
I was just because I remember seeing that and I just never looked into it. I knew it was news, but I didn't really check up on it every now and then.
The Mars rover
News.
and the little helicopter.
Oh yes, wait, has that done anything since? Again, I haven't followed up on that.
Yeah,
Man, it's just doing its job.
Yeah,
Oh no, but has the helicopter done much after?
yeah, it's doing
Yeah.
its job. What do you think it's
Scouting
doing?
areas for the
Breakdancing?
rover. It's taking photos, doing what it's doing.
Oh okay, I didn't realize if it was actually.
It's not like an FPV acrobatics drone.
Oh damn,
It's
is
got
it
a
not?
utilitarian purpose.
God, imagine trying to control that with the delay from here
Oh
to
my
Mars. to
God.
FPV.
Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. Our greatest game released this year, Postal Redux, came out in February. Sorry, March.
Wow, I couldn't even get that right.
No, that's how excited I was.
That bodes well, yeah.
Marvel Avengers came out in March. That died literally 2 seconds after it released. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, that came out on next gen consoles. That's a pretty remaster. At least from what I've heard, never played it.
Great.
New Pokemon Snap came out in April.
People hate Pokemon Snap.
Subnautica came out on the DS in May. Right.
Wait, sorry, on the DS.
Yeah.
Are you
What?
sure it says DS?
Oh,
And
never
not
mind.
NS?
Shut up.
I was gonna say what?
Oh, it's just reading the wrong thing.
When did it come out? Oh, go on.
You mean the
Came
Switch,
out in,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What Phelan said.
I was gonna say Subnautica on the
That would be
DS would be
awesome.
amazing.
That's why I was like super
Yeah.
confused. I was like, that looks amazing. I need it, but
Yeah, no, I would. Yeah, I'd probably get that.
I'd buy a DS and buy it right now. There's a
Oh,
new
I've got
Serious
spare.
Sam coming out at the end of the month. I heard.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Is it called Serious Sam? Fuck off. Yeah,
Really? That's what
Serious
you
Sam.
I love you, Phelan. I just want you to know that.
Thank you.
Yeah, literally, I'm just looking at all the games. Hades? Wait, Hades came out this year? Oh no, that's console. In April. I meant like in August. Sorry, I was like, I didn't realize it came out like that late. No, that was a console. That was a great game.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some interesting movements in tech, but again, it's not like X
Shall we?
company released X new product that's Let's just say, like, it's that's it. It is the cool new thing. It's more like, oh yeah, give that 5 years and that'll be cool. You know, like it's like the early inklings. Like we had some new monitors come out in some interesting aspect ratios at CES.
Yeah,
You know.
4K 100, 240 hertz was it from Samsung?
Yeah, like
that
that's
it?
interesting. Like I'm into taller monitors. I think that they're cool for a purpose, not for a main monitor, but for a purpose. Lenovo did a new laptop, a new ThinkBook series, and one of them has like a sort of I guess you call it like a phone sort of style screen in the actual like keyboard base of the laptop.
Oh.
That you can use for like displaying extra information, controls. There's like a zoomed in window for when you're doing art, calculator, whatever like that. It can mirror your phone, and that comes with like an integrated stylus into the actual laptop and stuff. That seems like a really cool form factor. That, given a bit of development and a bit more refining and stuff, I'd like to see where that goes. Yeah, there's been some interesting things coming out, but it's all you see what I mean. It's all sort of stuff that it's like, yeah, that's interesting, like, but it still needs a bit of time to be refined, and I'll care about it more, like, you know, a few years down the line.
Yeah. Wow, that actually
Yeah,
literally. Oh, carry on.
I was just gonna say, honestly, I'm kind of interested in I want to say it's LG and Sony doing their 42-inch 4K OLEDs, because the smallest you could get last gen was 48-inch, which is
Oh, okay.
quite big if you want it for like a monitor or something.
Mm.
But this could be the middle ground now, depending also on how far away you sit from your monitor for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Between having, you know, a good sized screen, especially one that's OLED, that's 4K and fits a few other, you know, checks a few other boxes.
That's actually one thing I think I've said multiple times on the
Sure, it'll be a
podcast I would
lot of
like
money,
to
though.
change is I've always had 24-inch monitors. I've never had one bigger. I've had smaller, but I've never had bigger than 24-inch. So 27 or 32 would be a nice little upgrade this year, potentially. That might be a nice little aim.
That was a guess, but I'm scared.
But yeah, like literally, my last month has just been playing Tarkov and taking the keys off my keyboard so I can do this. Yes, that took an entire month apparently. But no, like I haven't looked at anything tech-wise, anything news-wise, new games. I've stayed away from Battlefield because I'm waiting for season 1. I don't know when that comes out in March, so I've still got waiting to do. So I've literally done shit all when it comes to anything new in the world. I've just concentrated on just playing my game and having fun streaming, and attempting to make content that is subpar.
One thing that I forgot actually, there was a singular, incredible thing at CES
Oh, God,
that actually is probably my favorite thing of the year. LG's presentation.
Oh, is this
The
with the
presentation
ladies?
itself.
Surprisingly fucking funny. We went into
was
that thinking it was gonna be
hilarious.
so dull.
Was it
Which
funny
Nvidia's
on
doing, obviously.
purpose though, or was it funny because of how cringe it was?
I think it
A
was
bit of both.
a fair amount on purpose, to be fair to them.
Okay.
But yeah, there were some parts that were just...
Yeah, it's just me and Delicious were watching, and we were watching all the CES presses, and we were just kind of going into. We didn't realize that Nvidia's and LG's overlap, so we thought we'd watch LG's and Nvidia's first, but not that it mattered because Nvidia's was fucking atrociously boring.
yeah.
They literally spent 50 minutes and announced 2 products in 20 seconds. It was just, oh god, it was awful. Anyway,
It was...
so we were going into LG, and we really genuinely thought it was going to be the most boring shit. It was going to be some like business exec stood in front of a green screen or shit set, and they'd be standing there saying, LG has had a 480% increase in research and development focus on TVs and washing machines this year. And it's going to be shit like that. Very LG. But no, they straight as hit us up with like an incredibly suddenly unexpected like advert skit. And it was just funny. Some of the lines that were delivered were just delivered in such a hilarious way. And just me and Freeland, it fucking broke us. We couldn't stop laughing for fucking ages. And that was genuinely my favourite experience at CES this year. If you have not watched LG's presentation because you went to watch Nvidia's because you were like, Nvidia's awesome, fucking go watch LG. Sit down with some friends, get some popcorn and watch LG because you will not regret it. It is fucking, it's better than fucking Marvel TV shows. I'm saying it. It was so entertaining.
I will agree with you on that. Honestly, that I wish I did see it now. That sounds like it was mental. LG are definitely doing well these days. Like, they're making.
You won't believe how good for the environment they are. It's crazy.
Are they actually? Or are you just
No.
memeing? Okay.
No, they just mentioned that in their
Oh, for God's
presentation a couple times.
Mm.
They were like, life's good, by the way, and we want it to continue being good. So that's why in 2,000 years from now, we're going to be reducing our carbon output by 2%. Isn't that awesome?
Woo.
Based off our carbon usage in 1851, by the way.
One person in the
Yeah.
Woo! Honestly, no, it was certainly an interesting year. And on to a new one. 2022 should be. Well, I don't know if there's anything happening. It's mentioned. Okay, so Battlefield's got that with season 1. Hopefully, that's something good that comes out in 2022.
Starship should be flying proper, or by proper I mean like fully stacked.
What should sorry?
Starship.
Starship. Oh, okay. Christ, I don't actually know anything gaming wise. There's obviously going to be a new Call of Duty, so that's going to be a fun few months for Call of Duty fans. God, and we all have our own aims. I don't know if anybody wants to talk about if any. Do you either of you have aims for this year? Anything you want to aim for? Any resolutions you want to try and reach?
Stars.
It's a bit late now, isn't it? We've only got a couple of weeks left.
I know. Can still talk about them.
Nothing major. I've never been big into like that sort of concept of New Year's resolution. I think setting yearly is a bad timescale to set goals on. It's a bit too long where you can focus on the goals properly, and it's a bit in that range where you can't really know what's going to happen. You can't predict life events and things that are out of your control. It's just a bit pointless setting a goal, you know. If you say like the classic one, so you want to lose weight and you set a New Year's resolution of losing weight, right? Would you not be better off setting like, you know, a couple, like maybe like a fortnightly goal, a monthly goal, or even a weekly goal to lose a certain amount of weight, right? And have that repeating rather than like trying to say, like, I want to lose weight by the end of a 300 fucking day and a bit period. A bit longer than that. No, why I said it like that. It's very weird.
Did you forget?
No, I was just thinking like. New Year's resolutions are weird. Yeah, like they just seem weird. Like I don't know, I've never been into them, but
Fair. No,
I'd like to stream more. I need to sort out my stream. I've got so much stuff that I need to do for OBS, and getting that sorted. And Streamlabs suck ass. I really do not like the drama, like not just the drama itself, but like knowing the way they'd behaved in relation to some of the stuff in the drama. It seems like a very immature company to me, run by some not particularly nice people. But at the same time, no offense, Stream Elements, but God, your fucking software is so shit sometimes, and causes me so many problems. So I don't really have like any overlay system right now, and I need to sort stuff out on the local end. But I'd like to stream more. At some point, that would be an end goal. I would like to do that.
That would be awesome.
It's just a lot of work, and Charles still needs to, you know, render me all my stuff for free that I've not told him what I want yet.
No, I was going to say you haven't told me yet.
What about you, Delic?
Delic, yeah, go on. What about you, Delic?
We could do some more streaming at some point.
Yes.
To get this webcam
You started
what,
this year,
actually?
actually. You started this year a bit. That was Pog earlier.
Yeah,
Get
you've
some
never
No
streamed
Man's
before,
Sky.
this year.
Or like you did it like when did you do your first stream and what was it? As I remember we did No Man's Sky.
About
About middle.
2013, 2014, maybe?
Yeah, but you did it on Twitch, which was not
Yes.
normal. You normally stream on your YouTube channel.
Yes.
But that was Pog. No, it would be interesting. Sorry, I'll let you carry on.
Carry on with what? Streaming? Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna. I thought you were
Get
gonna say
going,
something
come on,
else.
chop. I think we're delicious. The big problem we've got with streaming is that when you're first starting streaming, it can be quite hard because one, you just got to schedule it. Like, when can you actually sit down and dedicate that? Streaming for, you know, a lot of people that consume stream don't realize to sit down and stream for 6-8 hours, you know, is a long fucking time. Or even shorter than that is like a very reasonable like amount of chunk of someone's day. And you know, for people that do want to stream longer than that and get those good long streams in, it's a fucking long time of your day to sit and stream and to deal with eating and keep your mental up and focus on a game. Like it's a lot of work. But But above that, also, I think one of the earliest things that sucks is like, people not being in chat. How do you get people in chat? What game do you want to stream? Having the motivation to sit through that sort of, hard thing. And that's the same for any streamer. If any streamer that's used to streaming a certain game streams an off game or tries to move to a variety in their chats at half the speed it's used to, they're getting less subs than used to. Obviously you look at bigger streamers and it feels, as a small streamer, it can be like, damn, you're doing so well. I'd love to be in that position. But it still feels sucky for them to see those numbers that humans like to focus on way too much go down in these situations. So what I think Phelan really needs for streaming is, just some good networking, somewhere to help advertise him, such as the Tactical DV Discord, where we have the new stream and YouTube promo channels, where people can promote their content. And that's awesome, because to do that you require the streamer role, a role that old Delicious here doesn't have.
Yeah.
See where I've been going with this, Charles?
Do you two want the streamer role?
I think Delicious deserves the streamer role.
Yeah.
Not that he needs it. I mean, he's an
I'm
administrator.
assuming they chatted shit about me.
At some point, maybe.
I mean,
For numerous reasons.
Yeah.
What? How dare you? I think
No.
I think that's a good place to end it then. If you're going to talk to me like that.
Damn.
Oh, okay.
I guess to finish this off, mine would be grow my socials somewhat. Be nice to be consistent as well. Stop buying random shit and just stop doing that.
Fucking download Grammarly or something. How much is Grammarly for a year?
No, stop it.
No, don't download. Okay,
Scrum is a
sorry.
great game.
Grammarly is awful, but for the love of you need to do something.
Scrum is a great game.
So number one, don't use Grammarly. It sucks. It's shit. Number two, I'm not sure that you really need to be talking about agile project frameworks when you're streaming. I appreciate you trying to get inroads with the software development and business management and product management and project scheduling community there, Charles. But at the end of the day, you're streaming a mobile survival game that with graphics that look like they could run on a Xiaomi Mi
True.
6, which probably is a phone that exists.
The moment I played that game, I regretted it.
Really?
Scum
It
is
did
an
not
okay
seem like-
game, but it's not.
It just looked
too
like
enjoyable?
it just looked worse than others for me. It looked worse than other survival games, and not in terms of the graphics. I mean, the graphics look bad. I mean, like in terms of mechanics and how it was put together, and it just didn't like it did anything that you wouldn't get from playing like Phelan says 7 Days or Rust or DayZ or something like that.
I wish I just
Shouldn't
played
play
Tarkov.
DayZ.
I mean, Tarkov. You've been doing good on your Tarkov. I've been
Play
enjoying
Warzone
watching you
on
stream
stream.
Tarkov.
But I've been enjoying Tarkov more. But War Thunder is good.
Enjoy War Thunder more.
And also, just a PSA to anyone who listens to the podcast: Tarkov is about 16 gigabytes to download.
Yes, after multiple people saying, me saying 12 and then everybody else saying like 40 and 20 and so many different fucking numbers out there.
That was very entertaining.
Yeah, nobody knew.
You know what? I must have missed.
Oh yeah, don't worry. No,
Damn.
that was good podcast. It was a good year. On to a new one. Hopefully this will be a bit more consistent this year. I definitely have 4 guests lined up, but they've all said they can't do the first 2 weeks of Jan. Or the first one's to the first week of Jan, so hopefully I can get that done.
Right, we've got a week or so. You can catch them in before then. If
Yeah,
they're
that's
available. I know
true.
it's after Christmas period. It's busy, but
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Look it up.
And then we can do some more, get some actual consistent content out there. Would be lovely. I need
consistent
you know
content would be
what I do need to do. I've just realised a New Year's resolution for next year.
Mhm.
I need to stop buying microphones. I've gone through 2 this year. Not needed.
I need to balance mine that I got back after multiple months.
Do you know what? You also should be a New Year's resolution of yours.
Stop buying shit's mine. What?
It should be to actually ask me and Phelan when we're next available for a podcast recording, rather than realizing the day before that you want to record a podcast. Then we organise it for you.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's been the Clip It podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure, you two. Thank you very, very much, as always, for this very late notice podcast. It was good. We shall be back 2 weeks' time. I remembered. It should be good. It should be good. We'll have it planned, and actually sorted. Hopefully I don't have to spend 15 days rendering this video, because God, that was a pain in the ass last time. I genuinely hated it. I think I've fixed all the issues nevertheless. And yeah, no, thank you very much. I hope you both have a wonderful end of your year. We're going to keep this going. And all the best for 2022.